from 2016 exams. And it's saying the first three terms of a geometric progression are x plus 1, x minus 3, and x minus 1. Want to find first the value of x. So to be able to find the value of x, we are going to use the principle of a common ratio. So you know that a common ratio is given by second term over first term. It can also be given by third term over second term. So in this one, this is going to be the first term. This is going to be the second term. This is going to be the third term. So I'm going to say second term is x minus 3 over first term, that is x plus 1. This should be equal to third term. You can say that is x minus 1 over second term, that is x minus 3. And then from here, we start crossing multiplying. We multiply this one. So that will be x minus 3 multiplied by x minus 3. And this is supposed to be equal to also multiply these others. That will be x plus 1 multiplied by x minus 1. So if you do the multiplication, x minus 3 times x minus 3, so we'll start this x times this x should be x squared. And then this x times the negative 3, negative 3x. And then this negative 3 times x, negative 3x. And negative 3 times negative 3, that will be positive 9. And that is going to be equal to multiply x times x, which is x squared, x times negative 1, negative x, and then 1 times x, positive x, okay, and then 1 times negative 1, that is going to give us negative 1. And then from here, simplify, we're going to have x squared, negative 3x minus 3x, that will be negative 6x. And then we have got positive 9. And this will be equal to, we have got x squared here. Now this is negative x, this is positive x, those are going to cancel, and then we have got a negative 1. If I take this x squared, this side is going to become negative. So this will cancel with this because they are going to have one positive, one negative. Then we're going to remain with negative 6x. And that is going to be equal to, I'm going to take this 9 the other side, so it also becomes negative 9. And then we have got also a negative 1 that side, like terms. So this will be negative 6x is equal to negative 9 minus 1, which is negative 10. Divide both sides by negative 6 to remain with x. So x therefore is going to give us, we can have a 2 go into 10, that is going to give us a 5, and a 2 into 6, that is going to give us a 3. So this is going to be the value for x. Is that okay?
Yes.
All right. And then for the next one, is saying find the first term. Find the first term. Now the first term is already given. All we need to do is to substitute the value. So first term, you're able to see that the first term is here. Okay, that's the first term, which is what? X plus 1. So just put where there is x, to substitute the value, we found 5 over 3. And then plus 1. Of course, this is 1 over 1. So to find the first term, we'll multiply this 5 times the 1 which is down, that will be 5. We'll multiply this 3 times the 1 on top, which is a 3. And then we'll multiply the 3 and the 1 in the denominator, that is a 3. That is going to give us 5 plus 3, which is 8 over 3. So this is the first term. Okay, that's the first term, 8 over 3. If you want to express it as an improper fraction. Now the next one, since we found the first term, the next one is saying find the sum to infinity. Now before we find the sum to infinity, at least we need to know also the second term. Okay, it will be very
I have a
important for us to know the second term.
I
Is
have a
that
question.
yes?
As we see where this 8 over 3,
Yes,
so you can subtract by 8 divided by 3, or just leave like that.
you can do it.
Okay.
You get
So the answer has be
what's your question?
3/5.
3/5.
So this one h divided by 3.
Yes.
So the answer is 3/5.
You want to leave it in the simplest form.
Oh,
So this is the first term. The first term is 8/3. Okay? All you do is come bring your x here. Where there is x, you substitute. We've already found the value for x here, which is 5/3. You substitute, so it will be 5/3 plus 1. You get that?
okay. Yeah.
And then the next one, let's find the second term. The second term is this one, which is x minus 3. But we know that x is 5/3. So it will be 5/3 minus 3. And this is going to give us, this is going to be 5 minus 9/3. And that is going to be what? 5 minus 9 is a negative 4/3. So this is the second term. Now remember, for C, we want to find the sum to infinity. So before we find the sum to infinity, we need to find the common ratio. Common ratio is given by second term over first term. So this is going to be the second term. You can see that is negative 4/3. And then divided by first term. The first term is 8/3. I can also write this as negative 4/3 times. The 3 goes on top, the 8 comes down. So this 3 will cancel. This 4 can divide with this 8. So that will be negative 1/2. This is the common ratio. Then now we can find the sum. We know that sum to infinity is given by a over 1 minus r. Okay? So this is going to be a, which is the first term. Remember the first term we found 8/3. And then divided by 1 minus r. What is the common ratio we found? It's negative 1/2. So this is what we want to simplify. I'm going to put it here. We have got 8/3. Now I'm going to say divide by instead of me writing over. So if we say 1 minus negative 1/2, it's the same as 1 plus 1/2, because those two negatives are going to multiply. And you know that 1 plus 1/2, we are going to get 3/2, like that. And then we can swap this one. This becomes 8/3 times 2/3. So if we multiply on top, 8 times 2, that is going to give us 16. And then down 3 times 3, that will give us 9. So this is the sum to infinity, 16/9. Okay, is that okay? It's okay?
Yes, it is.
Alright, let's look at this other one, which is here, which was from 2017 GCE. The first three
Sure.
terms, yes.
After you say 15 plus 3, 15 plus n,
Mm-hmm.
you're supposed to be 10 3 after the second 10 2.
Where?
This one, 15 plus n, yeah, this one.
15 plus,
So it has to be 10 3.
I can't see that. Where is the 15?
I'm saying that we have to put 10 3 after you say.
You say,
Oh, it's okay. For that was a skip question.
okay. Okay, let's look at this one. The first three terms of a geometric progression are 6 plus n, 10 plus n, and 15 plus n. Okay, now the first one, find the value for n. So in the same way, we're going to say second term over first term. So this is the second term. Okay, you always say second term over first term. So just write a formula: T2 over T1 is equal to T3 over T2. So the second term is 10 plus n. The first term is 6 plus n. And that is going to be equal to the third term, which is 15 plus n, over the second term, which is 10 plus n. And then again cross multiply. So this is going to be 10 plus n multiplied by 10 plus n. And this is going to be equal to 6 plus n multiplied by 15 plus n, like that. So 10 plus n multiplied by 10 plus n, we are going to get 100 plus 20n, and then plus n squared if you cross multiply. And then this side, 6 times 15, and say 15 here, 6 there, 30 is your remainder 3, that is going to be 90. And then 6 times n, that will be 6n, n times 15, 15n, and then n times n, that will be n squared, giving us 100 plus 20n plus n squared, and that is going to be equal to 90. If we say 6 n plus 15n to give us a 21n, and then plus n squared. So this n squared will cancel with this n squared if they go to the same side, because they are like terms. And then we're going to now put like terms together. I'm going to say 100. I'll bring this 90 this side, becomes negative 90, and that will be equal to 21n. And then I'll take this 20 the other side, becomes negative 20n. So 100 minus 90, that's a 10. 21 minus 20, that will just be a 1, so it is just n. So n is equal to 10 for this question. So the next question is asking us to find the common ratio. So to be able to find the common ratio, we need to find at least the first term and the second term. Okay, so on finding the value for n, is it okay? Does it make sense finding the value for n?
Yes, it makes sense.
All right. Okay, so now let's find the first term. First term, we are able to see it is 6 plus n. So this is going to be 6 plus n is 10. So it's going to be 16. And then second term, we can see that it is 10 plus n. So it's going to be 10 plus 10, which is 20. So to find the common ratio, ratio is second term over first term. The second term is 20. The first term is a 16. We can say 4 into 20 is a 5. 4 into 16 is a 4. So this is the common ratio, 5 over 4. And then we want to find the sum of the first 6 terms for part C. And sum of the first 6 terms, you first look at the ratio. What do you think? Is this ratio greater than 1 or it is less than 1? What are we able to see? Is the ratio greater than 1 or less than 1?
It will be 1 over 2.
So is it greater than 1 or less than 1? Hmm? What do you think? So 4 can go into 5. one time and the remainder, meaning that this number is greater than 1. Okay, so because it's greater than 1, we're going to use a open brackets r to the power n minus 1 over r minus 1. We need to know this. So if it was less than 1, we would have used a 1 minus r to the power n over 1 minus r. So we're talking about the sum of the first 6 terms. This is going to be equal to a, the first term in this question. What's the first term? What's the first term?
Specified G.
The first term is here. First term is 16. And then where there is r, we put the ratio. And the ratio we found is 5 over 4. And this is supposed to be raised to the power n, which is 6 in this case, minus 1. Then over r again, that is 5 over 4 minus 1. So this is going to give us 16. And then this one will just punch on the calculator. We'll just punch on the calculator. You write in brackets 5 over 4. And then you raise this to the
That's
power 16. So just write on a calculator, then you are going to get the value 5 over 4 to the power
plus
16, power
one.
6, I mean. That is going to give you 3.81. And then you say minus 1. So just punch them direct on the calculator, okay?
I think it gives us 36.
Minus 1. So the value I'm getting on top is 2.814697. And then in the denominator, if we say 5 over 4 minus 1, that is going to give us 1 over 4. Okay, to give us 1 over 4. And so I'm going to multiply 16 by this value which is here. So I'll say 2.814697 times 16. And then the answer that I get after multiplying by 16, I'm going to say divided by 1 over 4. Okay? Divided by 1 over 4. So the sum of the first 6 terms we are going to get here is 180.14. This is going to be the answer. So this is how you work out this question. Are we good? Are we good?
Yeah.
Okay, let's look at the other two. Then we are going to be done. Because we don't want to leave out. We'll just look at two. We'll just look at 2018 and 2017. The 2018 internal, the one which is down, you can do it. But we'll look at the 2018 GCE. Because it looks a bit of different. Are you behind anywhere? Are you behind anywhere?
Yes, I could.
You are good? Okay, so the 2017 one. For the geometric progression 20, 5, like that, the terms continue to go. The first one is find the common ratio. So very simple. Common ratio, second term over first term. Second term here is 5. First term is 20. 5 into 5 is 1. 5 into 20 is 4. So it is 1 over 4 as the common ratio. And then B, find the nth term. So nth term, we know is given by a r to the power n minus 1 for a GP. Okay, so this is going to be equal to a, the first term, 20. And then r, that is 1 over 4 to the power n minus 1. They've just said any term. We don't know what that term is, so we just want a formula. So this is going to be 20. We'll say 1 to the power n minus 1. We know that is 1 over 4 to the power n minus 1, we know that is what? Just 4 to the power n minus 1, like that. And then I can multiply 20 times the one which is on top. That is going to be 20 over 4 to the power n minus 1. Can I do anything of merging here? So for this one, we can even leave it just here. Now I can also say this is the same as 20 over. When you have got a number to the power n minus m, just know this was a to the power n divided by a to the power m. Why? Because they are subtracting here. They are subtracting. So I can also write this as 20 over. This is going to be 4 to the power n divided by 4. That's the meaning. Okay, that's the meaning. Because we had 4 to the power n minus 1, meaning that we had the same base subtracting. The n and the 1 was subtracting. I can again write this as 20. This over, I'm going to write it as divide by. And then we're going to have 4 to the power n. And then this divided by, which is here, right? I'll say over 4. We can change this into 20 times 4 over 4 to the power n. So we'll multiply 20 times 4, which is 80, over 4 to the power n. So this is the formula of the nth term. If I want, I can take the 4 on top. It becomes 80 times 4 to the power negative n. Or we can end here. Please, you can't say 4 into 8. Don't do that. Why? Because this is not just 4, but 4 to the power n. So don't do that. Okay, now I want to find the sum of the first 8 terms. So just by looking at the ratio, where is the ratio we found? It's 1 over 4. The ratio here is less than 1. Therefore, the formula we're going to use, sum of any terms is equal to a 1 minus r to the power n over 1 minus r. That's the one we're going to use. Why? Because the ratio is less than 1. So this will be sum of the first 8 terms being equal to the first term, which is a, we can see is 20, over 1 minus, where there is r, that's the ratio. We're going to put the ratio we found, 1 over 4. And then raised to the power what? To the power n, we're talking of the sum of the first 8 terms. And then divided by 1 minus, again, this is r. The ratio is 1 over 4. This being paper 2, where you can use the calculator, I'm just going to punch this direct on my calculator. So I'll first start with what is, to avoid confusion, I'll start with what is here. So I'm going to say 1 minus, I'm going to put in brackets 1 over 4. Okay, 1 over 4. And then I'll say to the power 8. The answer that I find, I'm going to multiply by 20. Okay, I've multiplied by 20. Now if we subtract this, 1 minus 1 over 4,
Must
we are
be
going to get 3 over 4, right?
20. 20 is equals to 8 over 4.
Okay, good. So, and then the answer that I've found, I'm going to divide by 3 over 4, because that's the number in the denominator. So the answer we're going to get is 26.666. This is going to be the sum of the first 8 terms of this geometric progression. Any question? Any question? Before we look at the last question we have here.
Yes.
Yes? Is it clear? Okay, so 2018 GCE. If we look at this one, then we are done. So 2018 GC is saying in the geometric progression, the third term is 2 over 9 and the fourth term is 2 over 27. And the first one we have is find the first term and the common ratio. The first term and the common ratio. So the only thing that you've been given for this question is the third term and the fourth term. So let's put them down. Third term they've given us.
Timetable out for GCE.
Pardon? Okay. Third term 2 over 9. Fourth term 2 over 27. Now part A, find the first term and the common ratio. So the first thing is let's find the common ratio. We know that common ratios can be given by anything in front, fourth term, over anything behind, third term. So the fourth term here is 2 over 27. And then divided by third term, which is 2 over 9, which we can also write as 2 over 27 times 9 over 2. So this can cancel with this. And 9 into 27, that's the 3 times. So the answer is 1 over 3. That's the common ratio. Okay. Now to find the first term, we can just say any term is equal to a r to the power n minus 1. So let me just talk of the third term since we know the third term. This is the third term. So I'm going to put here, third term is 2 over 9. And that is going to be equal to a. What is the
Yeah,
common ratio in this question? It's 1 over 3. Okay, since this one we're talking about is the third term, so we're going to put here 3 minus 1, that will give us a 2. And this will give us 2 over 9 being equal to a 1 to the power 2, that will be 1. 3 to the power 2, that is a 9. So I can also write this as 2 over 9 is equal to a times 1, that will be a over 9. So this is 9, this is 9, meaning that on top also a is going to be equal to 2. So this is the first term. Are we good with that? Are we
no
good?
question.
All right. For B saying find the sum of the first 5 terms. So just look at the ratio for this question. The ratio is 1 over 3. So the ratio is less than 1. So the formula we're going to use for B, sum of any terms you are going to use is a 1 minus r to the power n divided by 1 minus r. Why? Because the ratio is smaller than 1. So for B, use this formula. You know the first term, so put 2 here. You know the ratio. The ratio is 1 over 3. And you know n, you're talking about the first 5 terms, also put 5 there. And then the sum to infinity, also you know the formula. Sum to infinity is equal to a divided by 1 minus r. You know a, that is what? A 2. You know r, that is 1 over 3. Substitute, then you'd have found the answer.
I have a question.
Yes.
Where this say 28